The aetherquartz light resists the void, allowing a glimpse of the reddish-sharp walls of the deep, misty valley. Shaish looks a bit less despairing when the blue radiance of the elven jewelry mingles with the realm's heavy darkness. Despite all its strength, Alarior still feels that much like his own mission, the light is trying to escape, more than to pose as a contrast to the bleakness. Their task is complete. They found the Elven Soul Reservoir they were looking for. Now they must save it from the great necromancer. A mile away from the realm gate, a deep wail spreads across the air, coming from a dark passage up ahead.
Vanari, shining formation! Warm your hearts and stand your ground!
As he turns to face the sound, the Scarlet Doom manifests. The deepest grief flows through the nothingness of their matter. The ghostly warriors cling to the ethereal swords, sharpening them against each other in an unbearable shrieking symphony. Their hatred can be felt glowing at their elven armor and shields, even at the distance. The regal female that floats above them points her phantasmagorical fingers at Alaria.
You made a mistake, Elf. You thought you could escape, but no one escapes death. I will bury you in my gardens of sorrow, where you will forever regret stealing from me. I will water it with your endless tears.
Alarior is about to give in to the maddening whispers that haunt his thoughts when he looks up at Valinor and suddenly gathers his strength. As the dazzling brightness of their emotions bursts through the mist, the light is finally unafraid.
Zytrek, let us free our kin! Break through the darkness!
The battle tactic is against the odds. The Cruciator activates heroic leadership. Valinor activates heroic willpower. Lady Olinder casts Seal of Shaish on the Bladegeists. The Guardian of Souls casts Shade Mist on the Bladegeists. Lady Olinder fails to cast Arcane Bolt. The Guardian of Souls casts Gnashing Jaws. The Nighthaunt score 5 victory points. The battle tactic is blind the enemy. Avalinor activates heroic leadership. The Guardian of Souls fails to activate heroic leadership. The Cathala dispels the gnashing jaws. The Dawn Riders cast Power of Haish. The Sentinels cast Power of Haish. The other Sentinels cast Power of Haish. The Enlightener casts Total Eclipse using an Aether Quartz to reroll. The Wardens cast Gnashing Jaws. The Caligrave casts Rune of Petrification. The Enlightener casts Speed of Haish on the Dawn Riders and Avalinor. The Wardens cast Ethereal Blessings on Avalinor. The Gnashing Jaws deal 2 damage to the Bladegeists. The Rune of Petrification deals 2 damage to the Bladegeists and 3 damage to the other Bladegeists. The Rune of Petrification deals 1 damage to the Bladegeists and 3 damage to the other Bladegeists. The Sentinels deal no damage to the Bladegeists. Avalinor activates All-Out Attack. Avalinor fails to deal any damage to the Bladegeists. The Sentinels deal 2 damage to the Bladegeists and 1 damage to the other Bladegeists.
The Dawn Riders activate All-Out Attack. The Hex Raids activate Discorporate. The Dawn Riders deal 4 damage to the X-Rays. The Dawn Riders activate Aether Quartz for +1 to save. The Hex Raids deal 1 damage to the Dawn Riders. The Spirit Torment activates Captured Soul Energy on the Bladegeists. The Lumineth score 4 victory points. The battle tactic is desecrate their lands. Lady Olinder fails to activate Heroic Leadership. Avalinor activates Heroic Leadership. The Guardian of Souls fails to dispel the Gnashing Jaws. Lady Olinder casts Seal of Shaiish, but it is unbound. Lady Olinder casts Arcane Bolt, but it is unbound. The Guardian of Souls casts Shade Mists, but it is unbound. The Gnashing Jaws deal 1 damage to the Bladegeists. The Rune of Petrification deals 1 damage to the Bladegeists and 1 damage to the other Bladegeists. Avalinor activates Redeploy on the Aether Wings. The Dawn Riders activate all-out defense. The Reapers finish off the Dawn Riders. The Spirit Torment brings back 3 Bladegeists. The Nighthaunt score 5 victory points. The battle tactic is eye for an eye. Avalinor fails to activate heroic leadership. The Cruciator activates heroic willpower. Avalinor dispels the Rune of Petrification. The Guardian of Souls dispels Gnashing Jaws. The Cathala casts Protection of Haish. The Wardens cast Ethereal Blessings on Avalinor. The Calligrave activates Deep Thinkers to cast Total Eclipse. The Sentinels cast Power of Haish. The Sentinels cast Power of Haish after using the Aether Quartz for a reroll. The Wardens cast Mystic Shield, but it is unbound. The Enlightener casts Speed of Haish on Avalinor. The Bladegeists activate Redeploy. The Sentinels deal 3 damage to the Reapers. The other Sentinels deal 3 damage to the Reapers. Avalinor activates all-out attack. Avalinor deals 1 damage to the X-Rays. Avalinor fails to activate Stomp. Avalinor activates All-Out Attack. The Bladegeists activate Discorporate. Avalinor activates Inspiring Triumph. Avalinor deals 4 damage to the Bladegeists. The Wardens activate Aether Quartz for +1 to hit. The Wardens finish off the Bladegeists. The Bladegeists deal 3 damage to Avalinor. The Spirit Torment brings back 3 Bladegeists. The Lumineth score 4 victory points. The battle tactic is an eye for an eye. Lady Olinder activates Heroic Leadership. Avalinor activates Heroic Leadership. Lady Olinder activates No Rest for the Wicked, bringing back 1 X-Rate, 1 Reaper, and 6 Bladegeists. Lady Olinder casts Seal of Shaish, but it is unbound. Lady Olinder casts Arcane Bolt, but it is unbound. The Guardian of Souls casts Gnashing Jaws, but it is unbound. The Guardian of Souls casts Shade Mist, but it is unbound. The Wardens activate Redeploy. Lady Olinder deals 2 damage to the Wardens. The Bladegeists deal 7 damage to Avalinor, using the Vortex of Frenzied Violence. Avalinor activates Unleash Hell and deals 4 damage to the Bladegeists. The Hex Rates deal 1 damage to the Wardens, using the Spectral Hunters. The Wardens activate All-Out Defense. The Bladegeists wipe out the Wardens. Avalinor destroys the Banshees. The Wardens activate Aether Quartz for +1 to hit. The Wardens deal 5 damage to the X-Rays. The Spirit Hosts deal 3 damage to Avalinor. The Aether Wings deal 2 damage to the Bladegeists. The Wardens activate All-Out Defense. The Hex Rates deal no damage to the Wardens. The Spirit Torment brings back 3 Bladegeists. 3 Wardens flee to Battle Shock. 1 Bladegeist also flees to Battle Shock. The Nighthaunt score 5 victory points. The battle tactic is against the odds. Avalinor fails heroic leadership. The Cruciator fails heroic leadership. The Cathala casts Protection of Haish, using the reroll from the Shrine. The Sentinels cast Gnashing Jaws. The Enlightener fails to cast Rune of Petrification. The Calligrave casts Total Eclipse, but it is unbound. The Enlightener miscasts, trying to cast Overwhelming Heat, taking 1 damage. The Sentinels fail to cast Power of Haish. The Gnashing Jaws deal 2 damage to the Bladegeists. The Bladegeists activate Discorporate. Avalenor deals no damage to the Bladegeists. The Sentinels deal no damage to the Bladegeists. The Sentinels deal 2 damage to the Reapers. The Enlightener deals no damage to the X-Rate. Avalenor activates Stomp, dealing 1 damage to the Bladegeists. The Cruciator activates Light Shard of the Harvest Moon. Avalenor activates All Out Attack. Avalenor deals 5 damage to the Spirit Hosts and no damage to the Bladegeists. The Hexwraith activates Discorporate. The Wardens finish off the Hexwraith. The Tree Revenants activate All-Out Defense using the Martial Memories ability. The Reapers deal 2 damage to the Tree Revenants. The Tree Revenants deal no damage to the Reapers. Avalenor activates Aether Quartz for a +1 to save. The Bladegeists deal no damage to Avalenor. The Spirit Hosts deal 1 damage to Avalenor. The Spirit Torment deal 1 damage to Avalenor. The Spirit Torment brings back 3 Bladegeists. The Lumineth score 3 victory points. The battle tactic is gaining momentum. Lady Olinder activates Heroic Leadership. Avalenor fails to activate Heroic Leadership. The Guardian of Souls dispels the Gnashing Jaws. The Wardens activate Rally, returning 1 model. Lady Olinder casts Seal of Shaish, but it is unbound. Lady Olinder casts Grief Stricken. The Guardian of Souls casts Arcane Bolt, but it is unbound. Avalinor activates redeploy on the Aether Wings. Lady Olinder deals 6 damage to the Tree Ravens. The Bladegeists finish off Avalinor, using the Vortex of Frenzied Violence. The Sentinels activate Unleash Hell and deal 2 damage to the Spirit Hosts. Lady Olinder activates all-out attack. The Sentinels activate Aether Quartz for +1 to save. Lady Olinder deals 3 damage to the Sentinels. The Sentinels deal 2 damage to the Cruciator and 1 damage to Lady Olinder. The Bladegeists finish off the Aether Wings. The Guardian of Souls deals no damage to the Wardens. The Spirit Torment deals 3 damage to the Wardens. The Tree Revenants deal no damage to the Reapers. The Reapers deal 1 damage to the Tree Revenants. The Wardens deal no damage to the Cruciator. The Sentinels flee to Battleshock, and the Wardens flee to Battleshock. The Spirit Torment brings back 1 Spirit Host. The Nighthaunt score 5 victory points. The battle tactic is Haish made manifest. The Enlightener activates Heroic Leadership. The Guardian of Souls activates Heroic Leadership. The Calligrave casts Total Eclipse. The Enlightener casts Overwhelming Heat on the Bladegeists and the Cruciator, dealing 3 damage to the Bladegeists and 2 damage to the Cruciator. The Cathala fails to cast the Rune of Petrification. The Enlightener activates Deep Thinkers and casts Gnashing Jaws. The Sentinels fail to cast Shackles. The Gnashing Jaws finish off the Bladegeists. The Sentinels deal 4 damage to the Cruciator, that passes it on to the Spirit Hosts. The Enlightener deals no damage to the Cruciator. The Tree Revenants deal 1 damage to the Cruciator.